I would say I was always I call it a great listener and note taker. All the years of my previous companies, I was involved with metalwoods, and fairways and irons, and wedges were just part of the set sort of thing. But then all of a sudden, I was presented with the opportunity to take a lot of my past collections and all my working with tour players that I've had, and all of a sudden it's okay, well, we would like you to come up with a series of wedges. And wedges always fascinated me because over the years, when I grew up, pitching wedges were probably in that 50, 51 degree range, and all of a sudden they're all the way down to 46 now. So there was a big gap created there from your, say, strong pitching wedge which we have now to all the way to sand wedges and lob wedge. So I saw a very good market there, not so much a market, very good challenge for me to help provide wedges, not just for tour players, to help them shoot lower scores, but also for the average weekend golfer to help him play the game with a little more enjoyment. That was my main desire. So that's why I really concentrated on wedges for the right bounce, right loft combinations, the right different grind combinations to help them play the game to the best of their abilities. In my mind, being I call a perfectionist is probably one of my, call it a fault if you will. I am never happy with any product that I design. I'm satisfied, but not being perfect. I used to think perfection, I could achieve it, but so far I have not achieved it, and I'm going to continue, Lord willing, as long as I live, to try to achieve that perfect wedge. But that continually changes with all the different knowledge and input that I get from various tour players all over the world, as well as even the average weekend golfer. I learn all the time. I like to call the PGA Tour probably my R&D department. I have a great R&D department inside Carlsbad, but the PGA Tour is my actual hands-on R&D department. All I do, I listen, I take notes, I watch, I get all the information from the various courses they play, different types of shots they want to hit, and I take all that information and I'll make many prototypes, take it back out on tour, let them try it, and then it's I hate to use the word trial and error, it's called more a lot of research. Research and development is what I would call it, working with tour players, and then I go back to the drawing board and I finally try to achieve that perfect wedge, which I'm still striving for. What I really did with the SM4s, what we really tried to do, I've always looked at profile. To me was a very important design characteristic. Has to look good sitting behind the ball. Gives that solid confidence. Then I turned around and have I would call the right loft, bounce, and grind combinations to help accommodate all the courses, not just the course you're going to play, your own particular course, but courses I would like to say probably for all over the world, which we've tried to do with a mid-bounce, low bounce, and high bounce options and different grinds. And also, I've really worked hard at the face and the scoreline pattern. We've come up with a 17-groove scoreline pattern. We originally lost 3,000 RPMs for what I call a condition of competition, which was established by the RNA and, of course, the USGA. We've lost probably anywhere between, I would say, 30 to 50%, maybe up to 3,000 RPMs in shots that are rough. So we're able to regain probably 1,000 of that we achieved back with this new 17-groove combination. And these grooves it's a patented process. We mill the face perfectly flat, which gives a little texture on the face for, I call it the maximum spin for those partial shots. Plus, we have a scoreline pattern with a patented cutter. It was actually milled, sawmilled, spin milled, we call it, into the face. The groove is to the actual conforming. It's all our wedges are conforming to the rules of golf, again established by the RNA.